That was atrocious. Manchester United had just crashed out of the Champions League to Sevilla after a 2-1 defeat at Old Trafford. This is my match reaction. One of the worst European nights you're going to see at Old Trafford. Man United 1, Sevilla 2. But I'll be honest, for 174, 175 minutes of that game, in our 180-minute fixture over 2 legs, Man United were asleep. That first leg against Sevilla, you know, it was a bad game away at Seville. But somehow it was worse tonight at Old Trafford, on a night where Jose Mourinho in his pre-match programme notes was talking about how these European nights belong at Old Trafford. He couldn't have set his team up any worse. I'm sorry, but a lot of the blame has to fall at the feet of Jose Mourinho here. Last 3 Premier League games going into this, coming from behind to beat Chelsea and Crystal Palace, beating Liverpool at home, 3 huge wins, and he goes and changes his team. Marouane Fellaini comes in out of choice, ahead of Paul Pogba and Scott McTominay. McTominay, the man of the moment. Fantastic performance against Liverpool. Loses his place here. In that first half, Sevilla had so much space in front of our back four because Fellaini was leaving room. I don't want to scapegoat Fellaini, but if you are a team who is trying to win the Champions League, you do not start Marouane Fellaini in central midfield. It is as simple as that. Paul Pogba, though, when he came on in that second half, he was poor as well. I'll be perfectly honest and say the only 2 players I think came out of that game with any credibility, David De Gea aside, Eric Bailly and Romelu Lukaku. Anything going forward for Manchester United in that game came because Romelu Lukaku made it happen. Whether that's through him winning a header, through him barging through a couple of players, showing real strength. Nobody else showed anything. Alexis Sanchez, invisible in that game, really is keeping his place in that team on name alone. But I can't not blame Jose Mourinho for what has just happened. I think had he started Paul Pogba, had he maybe started Scott McTominay, had he started with a more positive outlook in both fixtures, Manchester United would have got past Sevilla in a breeze. You know, as soon as we attacked them, they looked vulnerable, they looked weak. Lo and behold, Romelu Lukaku scored and a little bit of hope came back, but we all knew we weren't going to score 3 goals in that game. I just can't believe United have crashed out to Sevilla after 2 legs where Romelu Lukaku's goal was, we hardly had any clear-cut chances in this game. Marcus Rashford, he was struggling somewhat in the second half. His decisions were poor. But Alexis Sanchez was our worst performing attacker. But it's just down to the sheer tactics of the team and the choices of Jose Mourinho there. For me, his substitutions were too late in that game as well. I think he could have made them earlier. But Marouane Fellaini shouldn't have been starting in the first place. I'm sorry to scapegoat Fellaini in this situation. You know, he didn't actually play too badly. Probably had more shots than any of our team. But that is not because he was good, but because he was simply on the pitch. Fellaini, if you use him correctly, say 75, 80 minutes, you need to get a goal, you bring him on. He changes games. You don't start Fellaini as a central midfielder in a round of 16 European tie when the first Champions League quarter-final place is on the line for 4 years. You don't do that. Mourinho got what he deserved tonight by that result. You couldn't have been shocked that Sevilla scored. It was always coming. There was always going to be just that one chance away from making it a squeaky bum time at Old Trafford. And unlike the Chelsea game, unlike the Crystal Palace game, we didn't come from behind to win, and we're out the Champions League this year. I want to know from you guys and girls, who do you think is at fault here? Am I being too kind on the players in blaming too much on Jose Mourinho? I don't think so. You may disagree. Let me know in the comments as always. If you want to, drop a like on the video. It's my birthday today. Thanks for that, Man United. Maybe I should have told Jose Mourinho it was my birthday before the game. But anyway, out of the Champions League, Mourinho's got a lot of questions to answer from that game.